This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 100 Zulu, Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins in several ways. If you have NetLogger, I will see your call sign pop up in the AIM window and get you logged in right away. I'll also take them over the air in just a minute. I also take them via YouTube. I'm on now broadcasting on YouTube tonight under the same name, the Colorado Astronomy Net. So you can watch that and see the lag between this and YouTube. Yes, welcome anybody that's listening on YouTube as well. And I'll take them via email. If you are out there listening, send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and just let me know your first name and your location. City, state is fine, or country for that matter, and call sign if you've got one, and I'll get you on the list. All right, I'll go ahead and acknowledge several check-ins already on NetLogger. We got Jack, KE0VH, thanks for checking in tonight. Brian, K6SKI, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Randall, AE7RJ, thanks for checking in tonight. And Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. I'll go ahead and begin taking check-ins over the air. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Alpha Foxtrot 0, Alpha Sierra. Alpha Foxtrot 0, Alpha Sierra. Kilo Foxtrot 0, perform immediately. Kilo Foxtrot 0, perform immediately. Whiskey 6, Romeo Delta Zulu. Whiskey 6, Romeo Delta Zulu. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. Goodbye.
All right. Good evening to you, Dave. Thanks for checking in tonight. AF0AS and John, KF0UIW. Thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, W6RDZ. Thanks for checking in tonight. And Graham, MM1DEA. Thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. Let's see, what else? I'm just getting here, getting started here. Let me see if I got any new calls. Nope. I think I got everybody's on the list so far. Everybody, yeah, I know everybody there. All right. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. And good evening to you, John. W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, I'll go ahead and get the net started with a few announcements. And then I'm going to do something very slightly different. I've got two of our check-ins who don't get to participate that often because by the time we get around to going down the list, they've gone to bed. So I'm going to call on them first, right after the announcements. So Rip and Graham, stand by. I'm going to give you guys a call and let you guys do some participation tonight. There you go. Let's see, I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of the newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the newsletter and the webpage. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org. Or also visit us on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. And as I said before, we are also on, the Colorado Astronomy Net is also on YouTube. Let's see, what else? Yes, we do have a club call out there. It is K0AAS. So if you hear that call sign, be sure to hop on there and say, hey, Jim usually monitors that. Some of you guys are familiar with that. Out there in Strasburg along that I-70 corridor. I'm going to let this thing reset. Yep, Jim and I tested it out several weeks ago when we were traveling to and from Dayton, and the SkyHub repeater out there, the SkyHub link repeater out of Strasburg will get you all the way to Lyman. Maybe a little bit past there, at least going east. No, we haven't checked out how far south or north it is. And it's a little sketchy. It drops out a little bit towards the west, but you can still hear it by the time you get to E470 interchange out there. But let's see, what other announcements? Jack, KE0VH, does his flight simulations on Mondays and Wednesdays. He's been busy this month, and he's not exactly sure when he will be able to pick those back up at 6:30 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays on YouTube, the Captain Jack Flight Sim. But he has a whole bunch of past flights that you might be interested in taking a look at and seeing if you're interested in following along as well. You may want to check out the CAPNJACKFLTSIM for that. All right. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to call on Rip out in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. Before you head off, I'll ask you if you've got anything for the net tonight. Any questions, comments, observational reports for us tonight? So what's up with you tonight, Rip? Go ahead.
K3XO, and I have to tell you, I don't have anything in particular. I'm tuning in, want to listen as long as I can stay awake, but I'm a little tired tonight, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'm just here to listen and enjoy your presentations. Back to you, K3XO.
All right, Rip. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. But yeah, it's been too often than not, you've been dropping out before we've going down the list. So I just wanted to give you a chance to participate there. I know you're out there listening, and I do appreciate that for sure. Graham in Scotland, MM1DEA. And I know it's getting real close to your bedtime. I do appreciate you staying up late with us out there, or early morning. Same question. What you got for us tonight? Questions, comments, observation reports. What you're doing out there in Scotland there. Go ahead, Graham. All right, Graham, great to hear you on for sure. I definitely wanted to get you, now that you've got everything set up and get your voice back and everything, definitely want your participation as well. So do appreciate your comments, appreciate you checking in tonight for sure. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And I'll do that for anybody that needs to check out early. If you've got anything you'd like to pass along to the net, just let me know, and I'll get you up early, get your comments early in the net, as opposed to an hour from now, or hopefully not that long. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I think I got a couple of users out there on YouTube, so welcome. Let's see, I'm not sure if I've got some listeners out there on welcome. So if you're out there, definitely appreciate those likes. And if you got any questions or anything like that, pop them up in the chat. And if you've got a call sign, I'll get you on the list too, at least your name and what have you. Right now, I'll go ahead and acknowledge Scott N7FGP. Thanks for checking in tonight. And Roy KI7PKL checking in via NetLogger there. So to appreciate that. I'll go ahead and get into the local astronomical news in just a sec. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and get into the local astronomical news. Start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We had a first quarter moon back on the 2nd. We got a full moon tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, so look for the full moon. I think it's the full strawberry moon. I may have a few other names as well. Check that out. Last quarter moon on the 18th, and we got a new moon on the 25th. The moon was at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month. On the 8th, it was 251,999 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month. On the 23rd, it will be 225,668 miles from Earth. And let's see, I do the apogees and perigees for the simple reason of when we have those full moons near those apogees or perigees, actually when they're near perigee, we get the supermoons, but we obviously, this particular full moon is a lot closer to the apogee. I don't think they call it a mini moon. That would be interesting, but I don't think they call it that. But it might look a little bit smaller than your average full moon. So take a look at that, that's for sure. Planetary highlights for June. The innermost planets straddle nighttime, with Mercury in the evening and the greatest western elongation of Venus in the morning. Actually, that particular event occurred on the 31st of May. Jupiter joins Mercury in early twilight for a few evenings, both setting quickly. Distant Mars lingers with Leo after dark as our own planet hustles along its orbit well ahead of the red planet. Saturn is visible in the early hours as Neptune hangs nearby and is in conjunction with the ringed planet on the 29th. Uranus reappears in the morning sky before dawn. An excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, June 2025, page 28, and that's without the ad lib. All right, Mercury. Mercury is setting about 9:35 p.m. of this week. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes after sunset, just above the western horizon. Mercury moves from the constellation of Taurus into Cancer, shining at magnitude 0.3 on the 30th. You may still be able to see Jupiter and Mercury very close together in the evenings, at least for another few days. They were very close together on the 8th, so they're still pretty close, but you'll have to get out there very early, before, right after sunset to spot them. We got Venus. Oh, let's see. Let's do a quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase in value, the objects decrease in brightness by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see is 6th magnitude, so a 5th magnitude object is 2.5 times brighter than a 6th magnitude, while a 7th magnitude object is 2.5 times dimmer than a 6th magnitude. And the way that logarithmic scale actually works is For every 5 magnitudes, you decrease or increase in brightness by a factor of 100. So when we get into those negatives, you know that they're absolutely bright, and you could definitely see them with the naked eye. Continuing on with Venus is rising. Is rising about 3:15 a.m. This week. Look for Venus to the east about an hour or so before sunrise. Venus moves from the constellation of Pisces into Taurus, shining at magnitude minus 4.3 on the 15th. Look on the morning of the 22nd, about an hour before sunrise, and you'll be able to see Neptune and Saturn very close to each other. At approximately the 1 o'clock or 1:30 position from a very thin crescent moon. Venus is at a 4 o'clock position. Uranus is at a 7 o'clock position, and the Pleiades is about an 8 o'clock position in Taurus. So lots of stuff to look at on the morning of the 22nd, or any morning right now. You're definitely going to see Neptune and Saturn any morning you'll see the Neptune, Saturn, Venus, Uranus, the Pleiades very early, but it's a very, very, very thin sliver of a moon that will be very close to Venus and Uranus in the morning sky. We got the the summer solstice coming up. Occurs at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 20th. So that will be our first day of summer. The first full day, obviously, on the 21st. We got Mars. Mars is setting about 12:30 a.m. This week. Look for Mars to the southwest in the evening. Mars is in the constellation of Leo, shining at magnitude 1.4. Then we got Jupiter in conjunction with the Sun on the 24th. Jupiter is now setting about 9 p.m. This week. Let's see, after conjunction, Jupiter returns to the morning sky, rising about 5:15 a.m. by month's end. Jupiter is rapidly approaching the western horizon, so get out during the first 2 weeks of June to catch Jupiter before it disappears. And right now is definitely the time to see if you can spot Jupiter low on the horizon. Jupiter moves from the constellation of Taurus into Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 1.9. Saturn is rising about 1:45, actually 1:53 a.m. This week. Look for Saturn low to the east before sunrise. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 1.1. And then we have Uranus. Uranus is rising about 4:15 a.m. This week. Look for Uranus to the east before sunrise, very low to the horizon. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. Then we got Neptune rising about 1:48 p.m. 1:48 a.m. this week. So just a few minutes away from Saturn there. Look for Neptune to the east following Saturn by just a couple of minutes all month. And those two will be in conjunction towards the end of the month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. So, the distance, or let's see, a magnitude of 6.7 difference between Saturn and Neptune. So Neptune is obviously more than 100 times dimmer than Saturn. But since they are in very, very close proximity with a telescope, you should be able to see them possibly within the same field of view. So get out there, and for those of you who do have imaging capabilities, you may want to try capturing those two planets together. Hint, hint, Roy. There you go. And Brian, I know you two are the astrophotographers in the group. I think Rip is too, if you got the clear skies. So there you go. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing. For our dwarf planets, we have Ceres. Ceres rises about 2:45 a.m. this week. Ceres can be spotted low to the southeast before sunrise. Ceres is in the constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 9.2. Then we got Pluto rising about 11:25 p.m. So it is now returned to the evening skies, but it's best spotted in the early morning hours before sunrise. So right before sunrise, if it'll be towards the south. But with the moon being full right now and then heading into the early morning hours, it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to spot Pluto. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.2. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. And that large telescope for Pluto is definitely something 12 inches or greater in diameter for those reflectors, possibly a 15-incher. So you definitely need some bigger scopes, more light gathering power for that. An 8-inch scope will not do. Meteor showers. Several a whole bunch of meteor shower activity. Actually, it says there's the Astronomy magazine says there's not much activity. However, there is some interesting meteor activity that's going on right now. It just peaked and will peak in a couple of days as well. I'll talk about that after I let this thing reset. The Arietids meteor showers. This is the strongest daylight meteor shower of the year. The duration extends from May 22nd to July 2nd, with maximum activity occurring on June 8th. The hourly rate is near 60 at maximum. The June lyrids. This shower is active during June 10th to 21st, producing predominantly blue and white meteors at a maximum hourly rate of 8 per hour on June 15th. The average magnitude of this shower is near 3, while 32% of the meteors leave trains. So this is a nighttime one. Then we got the Zeta Perseids. This daylight shower occurs during May 20th to July 5th. Maximum occurs on June 13th. Radar surveys have revealed the activity of this shower to be near 40 per hour. Then we have the June Boötids. This shower is currently active during June 27th to July 5th and possesses a maximum activity that falls on the 28th. The shower is notable in that its meteors are primarily faint with an average magnitude near 5. However, bright meteors do occur regularly. So a little bit more challenging for the nighttime meteor showers of the June lyrids and the June Boötids coming up. You won't see any of the Arietids or Zeta Perseids, but you will hear them. Those of you who may be interested in meteor scatter communications may want to try that out. And I'm going to put in some links. Let's see, I'll put some links in, see what's going on. if you'd like, but I do have in my newsletter a document that Terry Bullitt, W0ASP, who was our resident radio astronomer, wrote on some meteor scatter how-tos. So look for that article, and I'll post a link on YouTube as well as on NetLogger. All right, comments. We do have one comment, another challenging object for the night sky. Comet 29P Watchman 1 is still in the constellation of Leo this month and may glow around 11th magnitude. Look for the comet during the last 2 weeks of the month when the moon will not interfere with observing. An 8-inch telescope or better will be needed well away from city lights to spot this elusive object. And that's it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is, let's see. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Lima Victor. Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Lima Victor. Colorado, Pasadena, Texas.
Okay, good evening to you, Gerardo. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. That's a new call on the list, KJ5 BLV. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And again, welcome. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I always like to touch base with my first-time check-ins and tell you a little bit about the net. Been doing the net for 29 years, last 2.5 on the SkyHub Link repeater systems. So I do appreciate you checking in and joining us tonight. Obviously, I've done some announcements, my local astronomical news, got some bulletins coming up, and a rocker report in a bit. I'll have to check with Ed in just a minute, or when I get down to it, if he can do that, or he's working tonight, whether one of us will be doing his rocker report for this evening. But hopefully you can stick around. This is a learning net, and I appreciate all levels of experience from just starting out to those of us that have been doing this stuff for decades and anywhere in between. So my question to you, Gerardo, is what are your interests, background in astronomy? Whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for a while or what have you. KJ5 BLV, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background, interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. KJ5 Bravo Lima Victor. Hey, thank you for running the net. No, I'm a beginner. Been a beginner most of my life. I just really enjoy the dark skies and looking up at the heavens and seeing all the stars and even the sky, and yeah, I just enjoy really appreciate the stars and planets up there. But yeah, thank you so much. It's interesting, man. Back to net control. This is KJ Psi Bravo Lima Victor.
All right, Gerardo, thanks for that. And again, welcome to the net. This is a learning net. In fact, so much has changed over the last 30 years in astronomy. We've seen a lot of stuff change. I, for one, am one of those learners as well, even though I've been doing it for so long. I've been interested in astronomy, gosh, since grade school. Maybe even a little earlier than that as well. So got quite a few decades. Even taught some classes out in college on astronomy as well. So it's been a while. And I'm retired now, so I got a lot of interest myself, and sometimes we get into some heady stuff, even it goes over my head. But I do find a lot of this stuff interesting, so I do appreciate you checking in tonight. And hopefully you can definitely stick around. We'll probably run for about another hour and a quarter, thereabouts. We'll see. Well, yeah, about that hour. Yeah. Maybe a little longer. We'll see. We got a question and answer period coming up once I get done with the bulletins. So please stick around. I do appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now I got to find my page of where I put all that stuff. There we go. All right. I like to start off with this particular web page. If you're interested in the ISS passes over your area, you may want to check out www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. I like this website because if I click on one of my ISS passes of interest, it'll bring up a nice large star chart of that particular pass, and you can see you can do a comparison of the passes over your particular area. I'm actually going to pull up there's nothing there's no visible passes over the Denver area. There's no visible passes. Okay, like I said, there's no visible passes over the Denver area for quite some time, but I'm going to pull up, let's see, here we go. I'm going to pull up one web page. Oh, come on. All right. I'm going to try to pull up one of these pages over on YouTube here, and it's not behaving right now. So let me see if I can pull that up. But anyway, what you can do is go on to that website, www.heavens-above, log in and sign up, and then put in your home coordinates for that particular, there we go. Just a sec. Okay, where am I looking for? I am looking for There we go. There we go. Anybody that's watching on YouTube, I got that posted up there. You can click on a particular date of interest over your particular area and see a pass, all right, and see a star chart. They can print that out on a nice 8.5 by 11 sheet. So there you go. That webpage, www.heavens-above.com. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got an interesting bulletin here from, what is it, Science Daily, dated June 3rd. Millions of new solar system objects to be found and filmed in Technicolor, studies predict. A group of astronomers from across the globe, including a team from the University of Washington and led by Queen's University Belfast, have revealed new research showing that millions of new solar system objects will be detected by a brand new facility, which is expected to come online late this year. The NSF DOE Vera C. Rubin Observatory is set to revolutionize our knowledge of the solar system's small bodies, that is, asteroids, comets, and other minor planets. The Rubin Observatory, under construction on the Cerro Pachon Ridge in northern Chile, features the 8.4 meter Simony Survey telescope with a unique 3-mirror design capable of surveying the entire visible sky every few nights. At its heart is the world's largest digital camera. So Roy, Brian, and Rip, eat your hearts out. The 3.2 gigapixel Legacy Survey of Space and Time, or LSST camera, covering a 9.6 square degree field of view with 6 filters, roughly 45 times the area of the full moon. Together, this wide, fast, deep system will generate 20 terabytes of data every night, creating an unprecedented time-lapse movie of the cosmos over the next 10 years and an incredibly powerful data set with which to map the solar system. The team of astronomers, led by Queen's University's Meg Schwarm, created Sorcha, an innovative new open source software used to predict what discoveries are likely to be made. Sorcha is the first end-to-end simulator that ingests Rubin's planned observing schedule. It applies assumptions on how Rubin Observatory sees and detects astronomical sources in its images, with the best model of what the solar system and its small body reservoirs look like today. Accurate simulation software like Sorcha is critical, said Schwam, a reader in the School of Mathematics and Physics at Queen's University. It tells us what Rubin will discover and lets us know how to interpret it. Our knowledge of what objects fill Earth's solar system is about to expand exponentially and rapidly. In addition to the 8 major planets, the solar system is home to a vast population of small bodies that formed alongside the planets more than 4.5 billion years ago. Many of these smaller bodies remain essentially unchanged since the solar system's birth, acting as a fossil record of its earliest days. By studying their orbits, sizes, and compositions, astronomers can reconstruct how planets formed, migrated, and evolved. These objects, numbering in the tens of millions, provide a powerful window into processes such as the delivery of water and organic material to Earth, the reshaping of planetary orbits by giant planets, and the ongoing risk posed by those whose paths bring them near our planet. In addition to Queen's University and the UW, the international team includes researchers from the Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian, and the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. A series of papers describing the software and the predictions have been accepted for publication by the Astronomical Journal. Beyond just finding these new bodies, Rubin Observatory will observe them multiple times using different optical filters, revealing their surface colors. Past solar system surveys typically observed with a single filter. With the LSST catalog of solar system objects, our work shows that it will be like going from black and white television to brilliant color, said Joe Murtaugh, a doctoral student at Queen's University. It's very exciting. We expect that millions of new solar system objects will be detected, and most of these will be picked up in the first few years of sky survey. The team's simulations show that Rubin will map 127,000 near-Earth objects, asteroids and comets whose orbits cross or approach Earth. That's more than tripling today's known objects, about 38,000, and detecting more than 70% of potentially hazardous bodies larger than 140 meters. This will cut the risk of undetected asteroid impact of catastrophic proportions by at least 2 times, making a tremendous contribution to planetary defense. Over 5 million main belt asteroids, up from about 1.4 million, with precise color and rotation data on roughly 1 in 3 asteroids within the survey's first years. This will give scientists unprecedented insight into the characteristics and history of the solar system's building blocks. 109,000 Jupiter Trojans, bodies sharing Jupiter's orbit at stable Lagrange points, more than 7 times the number cataloged today. These bodies represent some of the most pristine material dating all the way back to the formation of the planets. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, continuing 37,000 trans-Newtonian objects, residents of the distant Kuiper Belt, nearly 10 times the current census, shedding light on Neptune's past migration and the outer solar system's history. Approximately 1,500 to 2,000 centaurs, bodies on short-lived giant planet-crossing orbits in the middle solar system. Most centaurs will eventually be ejected from the solar system, but a few lucky ones will survive to become short-period comets. The LSST will provide the first detailed view of the centaurs and the important transition stage from centaur to comet. Rubin Observatory's LSST is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to fill in the missing pieces of our solar system, said Mario Jurek, a member of the Sorcia team and a UA professor of astronomy. Jurek also is a team leader of Rubin's solar system processing pipelines and a director of UW's Dirac Institute. Our simulations predict that Rubin will expand known small body populations by factors of 4 to 9 times, delivering an unprecedented trove of orbits, colors, and light curves, Jurek said. This data will be able to update the textbooks of solar system formation and vastly improve our ability to spot and potentially deflect the asteroids that could threaten Earth. It took 225 years of astronomical observations to detect the first 1.5 million asteroids, and researchers found that Rubin will double that number in less than a year, said Jake Kurlander, a doctoral student at the UW. Rubin's unparalleled combination of breadth and depth make it a uniquely effective discovery machine, Kurlander said. Siegfried Egel, an assistant professor of aerospace engineering at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, added, only by debiasing LSST's complex observing pattern will we turn raw detections into a true reflection of the solar system's history, where the planets formed and how they migrated over billions of years. Sorcha is a game changer in that respect. The Sorcha code is open source and freely available with the simulated catalogs. Animations at https://Sorcha, that's Sierra Oscar Romeo Charlie Hotel Alpha period hyphen space. And I'll post that link as well. If anybody is interested in looking at that, that's for sure. No, excuse me, the hyphen's not there really. So there you go. Sorcha.space. Okay, by making these resources available, the Sorcha team has enabled researchers worldwide to refine their tools and be ready for the flood of LSST data that Rubin will generate, advancing the understanding of the small bodies that illuminate the solar system like never before. Rubin Observatory is scheduled to unveil its first spectacular imagery at its first look event on June 23rd, offering the world an early glimpse of the survey's power. Full science operations are slated to begin later this year. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call on Ed, W6RDZ, and see if he is able to give us the rocket report for this evening. If not, I will go ahead and give it W6RDZ. This is KI0AR. Ed, are you able to give us the rocket report tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, this is Ed, W6RDC. I am not able to. I'm driving here in downtown Denver. I'm going to have to turn it back to you. Good luck. W6RDC monitoring.
All right, Ed, you mean you don't have all 8 pages of the rocket report memorized so you can give it while you're driving? Okay, Ed, no problems. Drive safe. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Got a lot of stuff going on with launches this week. This is the report for the 10th of June. This covers the period of June 3rd through 17th. Last week's launches, 5 rocket launches took payloads to orbit this past week, 1 China and 4 SpaceX. Wednesday, June 4th at 1740 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 11-22 from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. 27 Starlink satellites made it to the constellation. It was the 123rd orbital launch attempt worldwide of 2025. It was booster B1063's 26th flight. Thursday, June 5th at 1445 Mountain Daylight Time, China launched SatNet LEO Group 04 on a Long March 6A rocket from the Taiwan Satellite Launch Center, China. A batch of communication satellites went into polar orbit. The state-owned SatNet constellation will eventually consist of 13,000 satellites. Friday, June 6th at 22:54 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched the SXM-10 mission on a Falcon 9 departing Cape Canaveral, Florida. SXM-10 is the 11th high-power digital audio radio satellite built by Maxar, SSL for the Sirius XM radio. SXM-10 has a large mesh unfurlable reflector almost 10 meters in diameter. The SXM-10 satellite is headed to geostationary transfer orbit. It was booster B1085's 8th flight. Sunday, June 8th at 08:20 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 15-8 on a Falcon 9 departing a very foggy Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. It was the 70th Falcon 9 launch of 2025, 125th orbital launch attempt of 2025. This morning, Tuesday, June 10th at 07:05 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 12-24 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. 23 high-speed internet satellites joined the constellation in Leo. Next week, 7 launches are on the docket for next week for SpaceX. 1 is manned, 1 United Launch Alliance, 1 Rocket Lab out of New Zealand, and 1 China. Manned space flight tomorrow, Wednesday, June 11th at 0600 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX plans to launch the Axiom Mission 4, or AX-4, on a Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. AX-4 is Axiom Space's 4th crew rotation to the International Space Station aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon. The crew will be composed of Commander Peggy Whitson, former NASA astronaut, Shubhanshu Shukla of India, Slavos Uznansky of Poland, and Tibor Kapu of Hungary. This will be India and Poland's first crewed trip to the ISS. Docking to the ISS is on 6/11, undocking on 6/20. Tomorrow, Wednesday, June 11th at 09:15 Mountain Daylight Time, Rocket Lab is scheduled to launch the Mountain God Guards QPS-SAR-11 mission on an Electron Curie rocket from the Mahia Peninsula in New Zealand. This is another of IQPS's satellites, a small high-performance SAR planned for a 36-satellite constellation. Thursday, June 12th at 1946 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX intends to launch Starlink Group 15-6 on a Falcon 9 from Vandenberg. Friday, June 13th at 01:55 Mountain Daylight Time, China plans to launch an undisclosed payload on a Long March 2D rocket from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, China. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. Also Friday, June 13th, but at 05:45 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is on the docket to launch Starlink Group 12-26 on a Falcon 9 launching from Cape Canaveral. The third launch scheduled for Friday, June 13th, but at 12:29 Mountain Daylight Time. United Launch Alliance is planning to launch Project Kuiper, or KA-02, on an Atlas 551 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is the launch of a second batch of 27 payloads going to low Earth orbit of Amazon's broadband internet constellation of 3,236 satellites. Monday, June 16th at 18:51 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX plans to launch Starlink Group 15-9 on a Falcon 9 out of Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Other news and upcoming events: the Japanese Hakudo RM2 Resilience lunar lander crashed for the second time Thursday, June 4th. It was heartbreaking to watch this second landing attempt. The first landing attempt of the private Japanese lander failed April 2023 when a software issue caused the lander to lose track of the lunar surface, run out of fuel hovering 5 kilometers above the moon, and impact the lunar surface at over 200 miles per hour. Thursday's attempt fared a little bit better. For an entirely different reason, the laser rangefinder and autonomous navigation systems lost track of the moon's surface, and the second Hakudo lander impacted the lunar surface at just 60 miles per hour. The following excerpts from Jeff Faust's article for spacenews.com gives us some details. For the full article, you can check the link in the rocket report. Resilience, the second mission by Japanese company iSpace, likely crashed attempting a landing on the moon June 5th. Resilience was scheduled to land at 3:17 p.m. Eastern at Mare Frigoris, a region at about 60 degrees north latitude on the near side of the moon. Once on the surface, the lander was designed to operate for a lunar day, or about 2 weeks, until sunset causes the solar-powered lander to shut down. While iSpace said the initial phases of the landing attempt went as planned, telemetry displayed on the company's webcast indicated that the lander reached the surface about 1 minute and 45 seconds before the scheduled landing time, with a reported speed of 187 kilometers per hour, far too fast for a safe landing. Telemetry was then lost or no longer displayed, and the company ended the webcast about 25 minutes later with no updates on the lander's status. In a statement issued about 5 hours after this scheduled landing, the company acknowledged that Resilience was likely lost. The laser rangefinder used to measure the distance to the lunar surface experienced delays in obtaining valid measurement values. As a result, the lander was unable to decelerate sufficiently to reach the required speed for the planned lunar landing, iSpace stated. Based on these circumstances, it is currently assumed that the lander likely performed a hard landing on the lunar surface, the company concluded. It added, there had been no contact with the lander after the scheduled landing time. The company released the statement at the same time as Hakamada and other iSpace executives held a press conference in Tokyo. They provided few additional technical details about the failed landing, stating that they needed to do more analysis to identify the root cause. They declined to speculate on those potential root causes. They added, though, that the problem appeared to be different from the company's first lander, similar in design to Resilience, which crashed in an April 2023 landing. The company attributed that failure to a software problem that caused the spacecraft to believe it was on the surface when it was still at an altitude of 5 kilometers. There are different phenomena that we are observing, so we have to look at the root cause in more detail, said Ryo Yuji, Chief Technology Officer of iSpace at the briefing. He noted later in the briefing that the laser rangefinder on Resilience was of a different design than the one on Mission 1 because the vendor had discontinued the earlier model. Resilience launched on a Falcon 9 January 15th, sharing the launch with Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost 1 lunar lander, while Firefly's lander made a successful landing on the moon March 2nd. Resilience followed a low-energy trajectory to reduce propellant requirements, making a landing lunar flyby February 14th that sent it on a trajectory that took it 1.1 million kilometers from the moon before returning. Resilience entered orbit around the moon May 6, performing a series of maneuvers in subsequent weeks to place it in a final circular orbit at an altitude of 100 kilometers, from which it would make its descent to the lunar surface. The lander, the dry mass of 340 kilograms, carried several payloads such as a water electrolyzer, a food production experiment from Japanese companies, and a deep space radiation probe from National Central University in Taiwan. It also included a commemorative alloy plate from a branch of Japanese entertainment company Bandai Namco and a memory disk from UNESCO. The biggest payload was Tenacious, a 5-kilogram rover developed by iSpace's European subsidiary. The rover was equipped with cameras and a scoop, which would be used to collect regolith. The company would then transfer ownership of that regolith to NASA under a $5,000 contract awarded in 2020, part of an effort by the agency to establish precedents for rights to space resources. Tenacious also carried a small model house called the Moon House, created by a team led by Swedish artist Mikael Genberg. It is an art project that Genberg, at a briefing June 4th, said will help create a new perspective on what it is to be human, what life is all about. Tenacious would have deployed the Moon House onto the lunar surface and take images of it. And that's it for tonight's Rocket Report. Rocket Mad Ed wishes you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to Starman Burness, KI0AR, net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. That's it for tonight's rocket news. In fact, let's see. I'll let this thing reset and then take some more check-ins.
Hi, Burnett. Please copy Alpha Bravo 3 Romeo Victor. That's Alpha Bravo 3 Romeo Victor. I'm Mac in Philadelphia. I'll be in and out.
Okay, Mac, we got you on the list. AB3RV, thanks for checking in tonight. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Mike 6, Victor Alpha Yankee. Kilo Mike 6, Victor Alpha Yankee. Steve in Colorado Springs.
And good evening to you, Steve, KM6VAY. Thanks for checking in tonight. Anyone else who's checking into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, that's a new call on the list. Norm, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net, KE8GOA. Thanks for checking in tonight. Norm, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I always like to touch base with my first time check-ins. You've reached the question and answer period of the net. We started at, well, let's see, 9 p.m. your time. But I always like to touch base, like I said, find out what your interests, background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out learning or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between. Norm, welcome to the net. KE8GOA, tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
I have no background. I just looked up over here and sound interesting, so I thought I'd come here and let y'all listen to what you have to say. And somebody wants to sit on the side of his and listen. Dealing with back then. So.
All right, Norm, I appreciate that. Let's see, I got some past nets that I have posted on YouTube. We're on YouTube tonight as well. So if you're interested in checking out some of what we talked about before, last couple of weeks, it's still good. It's still good information there. This is a learning net, so we're all here to learn. No matter what level of expertise we have on here, including myself. But right now we're at the question and answer part of the net, also observational reports as well. So right now, questions, comments, observation reports, anything that people would like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Jack up in Wyoming tonight. KE0VH. Good evening to you, Jack. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everybody. To everybody around Sky Uplink, up here in Laramie, Wyoming tonight, working on the big antenna transmitter project. Wanted to let everybody know that our 44965 wire vector repeaters are not connected into the system due to an internet problem where they are located. We are working to get that corrected, and hopefully we'll have them back soon. Yeah, I'm not going to anytime soon. We've just got too much work going on. So anyway, Bernice, that's really all I got. Good to hear the net tonight. Thanks for being here, everybody, and enjoy Sky Uplink. We're glad to have you here. Back to you, Bernice. Good evening from Laramie, Wyoming. KE0VH on the Pilot Hill repeater.
All right, Jack. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And yeah, looking forward to your next flight, whenever that may be. So you'll definitely have to keep us apprised of that for sure. Appreciate that, Jack. Next on the list is Brian, K6SKI. Good evening to you, Brian. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening there, Bernard, and everybody else out there. I actually got to go out this morning and do some solar photography, and that was really cool because it's been quite a while. It's been really windy and kind of cloudy, but this morning was perfect. So I did a bunch of different videos and stacked them and all of that. So actually, some of them are up on my URC page under K6FKI. But other than that, man, I haven't gotten out and done any deep sky in so long. I've almost forgot how to do it. So I'm hoping things will change and I'll get out and do some deep sky this summer. But other than that, thanks for doing the net as always, and I will talk to you soon. I K6SKI with KI0AR topping back to net 73, everyone.
All right, Brian. Thanks for that. Yeah, hopefully you'll get out. It's been rainy, and more rainy here. So don't dare take scope out that. I haven't got the cloud filter designed and built yet, so don't know. All right, Brian. Yeah, I'll check your page out again, see what new stuff you got there for sure. And I did post a link to that Sourcia link in the IM window, so you can check that out. I know you may want to check that. I got it posted. I may do that as well. Post it in the newsletter too. So that might be interesting to take a look at, see what they got prepped for all of the new stuff that they're going to do with that telescope down in Chile. All right, Brian, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ken in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening there, Bernard, and V7SS here in Colorado. Boy, I'll tell you, Bernard, I don't understand why it can be nice and clear and hot during the day. I mean, it's 105 degrees out there right now. But at night, when you want to see the stars, it's nice and cloudy. Yeah, I got to get that cloud filter going. But, yeah, I tell you what, Bernard, it's kind of hard to see through them. So no observation reports today, so I'll let you get on with the net. Thanks a lot for being there. We'll let you talk to you next week. What I said, back to you, Bernard. Thanks again for being there.
All right, Ken, maybe you'll have some clear skies too coming up soon. Let some of that heat out for sure. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see, Randall. Let's see, AE7RJ went to dinner. And Rip also left. We heard from him a little earlier. So we'll skip down to Dave, AF0AS. Good evening to Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, not too much for the net tonight. It's been a quiet week in the Starship land. Looks like they're still targeting the end of this month, beginning of the next month for the next flight. Let's see if they can do that. And other than that, they're just construction, both in Florida and in Texas. And with that, I'll send it back to you for this AF0AS.
All right, Dave, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Tom out in Parker, KF0UIW. Good evening to Tom. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
try and get them into the tech stuff. I have a engineering degree and been a pilot for a long time. I was in the sky and just playing Fortnite. So hopefully get them into some radio. Hopefully getting an amateur band call sign here in the future. Just got my technician license 2 weeks ago. So if there's things you need to do, I'll do that. I appreciate this stuff. Jumping out when I'm sitting next the whole time. The website has been checked out. And appreciate what you done. So feel question enough. Thank you, everybody.
All right, Tom. Question for you. How old are your kids? Go ahead.
So Brian, before you ask that one, I get upset a lot in your part, but I'm a passionate Christian. Me and my wife have 5 kids, but 16, 14, 12, and an 8-year-old. They're just deployment teams that come home with a much less. And when they're going back on deployment, we're going to have to do it. So you know how that works. So I got 5, 16, 16, and 8 kids. Just really good.
All right, Tom. Well, the 2 oldest are definitely within the age range of our IAAS group out in Strasbourg. You may want to check out the website, www.iaaS.org, and check them out on Facebook too. I know they got some stuff out there. Or stick around, send me an email. I think you got my email address. But yeah, I can tell you a little bit more about the group as well. They got some interesting projects as well, and they got some young hams. We're looking for new members all the time. We've got a fresh new batch of students, which is real nice because some of our older ones have graduated and gone on to college. Got a whole bunch of projects and a whole lot of work for them to do project-wise. And you know, this counts. They can put it on a resume and get course credit if they're interested in any of what we're talking about tonight. Including talking on the radio as well. So yeah. Let me know, and if the oldest are interested, you know, bring the whole bunch. But the 2 older ones for sure are within the age range. Junior high to high school age students is what we're really looking for sure. But yeah, the whole crew would be welcome.
Spent a lot of time over, but don't mind staying for the head. Having like radio or sound or anything background isn't good. It's very good.
Do I? Not in the Navy. Well, kind of surreptitiously, I would say. I was in Intel. Enough said. As far as that's concerned, but yeah, definitely fun doing that. But yeah, most of my astronomy radio, I guess, gosh, my license, first license in 1970 when I was 12. So there you go. Astronomy off and on as well, and got my 8-inch scope in 1980 when I was in college, and taught observational astronomy out at the observatory at Virginia Tech. So and then been doing this for 30 years, almost 30 years on the net here. So there you go. I've been with the IAAS since '89. So yeah, I've been having fun. All right, John, we'll talk with you later for sure. Yeah, send me an email and I'll get more information, and I'll probably maybe include my phone number so we can talk over the phone I'm not going to give that over the air, but you can definitely send me an email. I can send it back to you. No worries there. Appreciate your comments, John. Appreciate you checking in tonight and looking forward maybe to working with your young students in the future there. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
There I got this thing working. Yeah, W6RDZ, this is Ed. Nothing observationally. Just want to thank you for taking the net again, doing such a great job with it. Thanks for a wonderful delivery on the rocket report. Very much appreciated. I can't wait to get home here in about an hour and rewatch the net on YouTube. Because with my job, I've been in and out. So looking forward to seeing the whole thing. That's it for me, Bernard. Back to you and back to net. W6RDZ Hydro.
All right, Ed. Yeah, I'd probably say watching it is kind of boring. Just watching me talk on the radio. I may have to jazz it up some. Who knows? Or get something going. But yeah, my life has been interesting the last month or so, and then getting getting stuff going and taken care of. Stuff I won't go into over the net, but let's just say it's been a challenge with vacationing and other stuff going on as well. But yeah, I'll have to figure out. I'm still getting used to this YouTube stuff, but at least you can listen to it, which is nice. There you go, Ed. That's probably the best way. There's not much going on, so you can surf and just listen, put it on the background, and do other things as well. But yeah, there you go. All right, Ed. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate the rocket report. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is John out in Ohio, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
From Ohio, WCLS. I was noting you mentioned the full moon, Bernard, during your start of the show. You mentioned the full moon, and I was like, oh, yeah, I know this last night was looking pretty big. I didn't realize when the full was happening, but when I get into do a little research on today, I see it's the strawberry moon. And it's kind of a special one because it's the lowest full moon in the space, like an 18 to 19-year cycle. It was what I was reading online was saying. It was the lowest one, but
All right, John, thanks for that. Yeah, and yeah, definitely take a look at where the moon is now. Like you said, it's about as low as it's going to get in its arc across the sky, and then compare it to what we're going to see in September, October time frame with the harvest moon and the hunter's moon, and see how high it's going to be at its highest elevations, above. Uh, Across the sky, and they're called the harvest moon because it stays up in the sky, uh, almost directly overhead. Gives you a nice big nightlight, so the farmers can work in the fields without turning their lights on. So yeah, definitely notice how low it is now and how high it's gonna be in several months as it swings. It's plus or minus 5 degrees from the normal ecliptic that the sun passes. So as well, and you'll notice when the sun is high, the moon is low, and when the sun is low, the moon is high. It's not exactly that way, but it certainly seems to work out sometimes that way as well. So definitely interesting watching the orbits of the moon and the sun and comparing their altitudes in the sky along with the planets as well. So John, appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing that about with the Parker, the solar probe there. Yeah, yeah, one of the few probes that was named by an actual living person at the time, for sure. And that thing is definitely giving us some good data as well about the sun. So appreciate you sharing that with us, John. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see. Stan, we got you on the list, BE3PSE. Thanks for checking in tonight. Mark, KC8FQV, thanks for checking in tonight via NetLogger. So I got you both on there. Next on the list is Scott down in Texas. N7FGP. Good evening to you, Scott. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, Berners. Nothing really for the net tonight. I was just listening along. So everybody have a great day. 7-3 and 7FGP.
All right, Scott, appreciate that. I do appreciate everybody hanging in there. I know this is a long net, so I do appreciate everybody hanging in there tonight. Didn't have too many passovers, so to speak. So do appreciate that for sure. Love to have you guys out there listening. Next on the list is Scott. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Roy out in Oregon. KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Everybody on the net. Hey, it's another clear night tonight. But, yeah, I'm not going to have so much to about it. I've been doing a lot of tinkering during this full moon that we're and I have a lot of software problems. And either I'm going to have to upgrade the upgrades that I've recently made or figure out how to make something work. I don't know. Anyway, never a dull moment. Anyhow, the good thing is that during the full moon, and I'm not making any good imaging this time. So hopefully when we get back and doing some imaging here in the next couple of weeks or so, and I'm not sure what we're going to do, but there's so many beautiful objects to image. Sometimes it's just hard to pick. KI7PKL, back to that.
All right, Roy, understand that. So many objects, so little time. There you go. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Hopefully you'll get those software kinks worked out. Next on the list is Gerardo down in Texas. KJ5BLV. Good evening to you, Gerardo. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
2006, it was unclassified, I guess is the word, as it was no longer a planet, but a dwarf planet. But I'm not even sure which scientific body made that change. And just the question, I guess, is, do you ever foresee Pluto getting back to being considered a planet, or is that pretty much settled? Just an amateur question. Thanks again so much for doing the net. Appreciate it. Really interesting listening. Everyone, next time I'll be listening.
All right, Gerardo. Yeah, there's a kind of a long history of figuring out what Pluto was over the years. It was the dwarf planet is in the category of Ceres, which is also a dwarf planet. There's some the characteristics of a planet versus a dwarf planet that the International Astronomical Union finally came around to defining exactly what those things were. Like you say, back in 2006, and Pluto didn't exactly fit within the proper definition of what their definition of a planet was, but it more closely resembled what a dwarf planet would be, with its particular orbit being fairly elliptical, the fact that its center of rotation isn't that Pluto, along with Chiron and its several other moonlets, its center of rotation isn't within the Pluto's actual mass. It's outside of it, so it's kind of wobbling around as part of it, part of the definition of a planet that Pluto did not fit in, because its center of rotation was not within its center of mass, so or within or closely to the center of mass in its system there. So things like that. From now on, it will not ever become a planet again. Yeah, I grew up with the 9 planets. My very educated mother just sent us 9 pizzas. Now it's just my very educated mother just sent us 9. Okay, now you have to figure out what she sent us. That's the mnemonic to learn the planets. That's the story. That's the short answer to Pluto, Gerardo. Hopefully, I answered that to your satisfaction. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the explanation. Really appreciate it. And again, thank you for doing this net. It's really fascinating. As just an admirer of astronomy and the skies, and appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for letting me check in, and hope to talk to you on soon on frequency. So KJ5, William Victor, Gerardo, I'll be listening.
All right, Gerardo. Yeah, this net's open to all amateur radio operators, and now that we're on YouTube, it's anybody that's out there listening on YouTube, anybody, license or not. So there you go. Hopefully, I'll get some more people signing in. I got several people watching right now, so thanks for that. Those of you who are on YouTube, I do appreciate that. Definitely let me know that you're out there with any questions or anything that you guys got on YouTube there. I'd like to see some participation over there if you want, that's for sure. All right, so let's see, Gerardo, again, welcome to the net. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is open to everybody, and the SkyHub link system is open to all amateur radio operators as well. So there you go. Do appreciate you checking in, appreciate your comments, and appreciate you joining us tonight. Mac out in Philadelphia, AB3RV checked in and out. So we'll go to Steve up in Fort Collins. Actually, he's Colorado Springs tonight. KM6VAY. Good evening to you, Steve. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Norm out in Ohio. KE8GOA. Good evening to you, Norm. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Stan up in Ontario, VE3PSE. Good evening to you, Stan. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0AR, Victor Echo 3, Papa Sierra Echo. Yeah, here in Sudbury, Canada, about 5 hours north of Toronto. A nice red moon, the moon this evening. Wow, like really orangey red moonrise. It was pretty incredible, and then it got lost in the clouds, unfortunately. So we've been getting a lot of smoke from the forest fires to the west of us in Manitoba, and so the sky has been really. I've noticed that even the sunlight on the floor is like an orange color as opposed to a yellow. So it's really showing that the fire coming through the atmosphere. The other thing is I've been following along the Eastern Conference, the SARA, which is the Society for Amateur Radio Astronomers. I was able to get into some of the Zoom presentations, so I've been following that. I wish I could go there. I was in West Virginia at the Green Banks Observatory. That would be sure nice to go there. And they've been talking about some of the projects they're working on. Jove, I was watching today, Radio Jove. That was really interesting. You know, I thought everything was done with with Radio Jove signals. I remember listening to them when I was a teenager, having a shortwave radio and setting up a directional antenna. And we did that for a project. We had local astronomers help us as Cubs actually to scouts to do that. So that was kind of neat. And some of the other projects they were working on are fascinating. Just love the idea of the hydrogen line out of 3 cycles. Yeah, I just love the idea of the hydrogen line and all the information you can gain from, picking up that 1.4 gigahertz hydrogen line and picking up the Doppler shift, so you know if it's going away or coming at you. And that's really cool. I think I could see a lot of passion in the presentations on that. I know they actually have something called Scope in the Box, where they use a cell phone repeater dish to pick up hydrogen. So I'm thinking about looking at something like that. Okay, great job with the net. Thanks very much for doing the outreach. The newsletter looks fantastic, and I was looking at your outreach page on JPL and NASA. Very impressive. Thanks for everything you do for
All right, Stan. Yeah, our IAAS group is wanting to set up a Radio Jove station as well. Jupiter's still up. It's still good. Hopefully, we can get that set up. We're trying to get the observational observatory up and running. Got some more antennas out there for doing our radio astronomy as well. And one of those projects is the Radio Jove. Getting our radio room all set up, things like that. Got a lot of projects going on with the IAAS right now. We've got some turnover with students, so we've got some training stuff to do with them. But yeah, it reminded me when you were talking about seeing the orange sunlight. We had some real heavy smoke several years ago, and we talked about that on the net. As well, when we were getting the orange sky and the orange color here, we were wondering whether we were on Mars, because that's kind of Mars is kind of orangish as well. So some of the images from Mars have kind of looked like the Earth covered with smoke there, at least parts of it, here in Colorado several years ago. We're getting some of that smoke down here too from Canada, but obviously not nearly as heavy as you're getting it there. But yeah, that just reminded me, you seeing the orange from the sun as opposed to a nice yellow sun, even during the daytime, because of the thickness of the smoke there. So yeah, don't breathe too much of that for sure. All right, Stan, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Mark out in Ohio. KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I've been here checking with Jack all the time. It's just interesting hearing this. Great hearing Roy. Yeah, took a look at some of them websites already. So, other than that, I'll send it back to net control, KC8FQV.
All right, Mark. Yeah, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, I kind of miss that Monday night net, but yeah, if you want to talk to Jack on Mondays, at least when he gets back to doing his flight sims, it may not necessarily. Well, we talk a little bit of radio on there, but yeah, check out his flight sims at 6:30 Mountain Time on YouTube. There, you can look him up. For sure, and join us there. Got a nice group of people that show up for his flights for sure. All right, Mark, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We have reached the bottom of the list for tonight, so I will go ahead and open up the net for anybody else. Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
KR Kilo Romeo 4 Echo Bravo Tango. Station in Tampa. Wishing everybody a hello over there in Colorado.
Okay, good evening to you, Jason. KR4EBT. Thanks for checking in tonight, and welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, you've reached the tail end, so thank you for staying up late with us tonight. We start at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 9 p.m. Your time, so do appreciate that. My name is Bernice, that's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Like I said, you've caught the tail end of the Colorado Astronomy Net. Astronomy works everywhere around the planet, just about. There are a few differences between northern and southern hemisphere, but not only here in Colorado, but that just happens to be where I'm located. And this is where it started almost 30 years ago. So Jason, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background, interest in astronomy, and actually anything else you'd like to pass along to the net, since you're last on the list right now. So go ahead, please.
Well, thank you. I'm a newbie, so I'm trying out a lot of things. I just got my technician's license back on May 17th when I passed my test. And then I started going crazy and I got a little handheld. I started experimenting with antennas. Now I got this echo link. So I'm just trying all sorts of stuff and I'm really having fun with this hobby. I live over here in Tampa, and I try to check in with nets as far as astronomy is concerned. I've always been fascinated with Saturn. That's my favorite planet. I was in college. I had the opportunity to actually see it. We got to see different parts, and I've always been intrigued and amazed by just the planet Saturn. I heard somebody talk about Pluto earlier, and how they was unclassified as a planet, but my Saturn. I mean, other than that, like I said, I'm a newbie. I'm learning. But thank you for being welcoming. This whole ham community has been an awesome experience. Thank you again. I know you're about to wrap it up, so I'll hang around, but I'll say 73, and I will definitely be checking in because I like astronomy and I like learning. So 73 KR4.
All right, Jason, I appreciate that. Again, welcome to the ham bands as well. Yeah, this is a learning net. We're learning stuff new all the time. And if you have NetLogger, that's another. I'll take check-ins via NetLogger, and you can follow along. There's a chat window on that, and so you're more than welcome to avail yourself of that and chat with me or anybody else that's using NetLogger if you have any questions or anything like that. That's another one of those pieces of software that you can look up. Yeah, you've gotten into, you can put in as much as you want into this hobby. And getting started, I think you'll enjoy it. You'll always have ideas for birthday presents, Father's Day presents, Christmas presents, anniversary presents to last you a lifetime. Guaranteed. There you go. Welcome to the net. Welcome to the ham bands, Jason. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and hopefully we'll hear from you again for sure. And check out skyhublink.com. Skyhublink.com is what we're operating with the repeater system here in Colorado, but we're getting all over in all different ways. You're obviously coming through Echolink, so that's worldwide. We are a worldwide net for sure. I've got, how many countries do I have? Let me see. How many countries have participated? 19 different countries have participated. 9 of the provinces in Canada, and I'm only missing 2 states for my worked all states on the Colorado Astronomy Net. And I'm missing DC as well, but okay, I'm missing Delaware, DC, and Mississippi. So getting close to the worked all states on the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, and it's always interesting to hear down under reports as well, Jason. So hopefully you'll hear some of that in the future as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 19 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater systems, which we're operating on tonight. I'd like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their systems as well. That way we can get all you guys and or gals, it depends on, we do have some YLs that check in. I'd like to have some more on there as well, but we get those too from all over. But skyhublink.com for more information on the group, and you can get the direct link to Echolink and All-Star by checking out their web pages as well. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.